Okay, so my part of the sprint was to update the sign up and sign in page. So as soon as you run the application, you are brought up to the sign up page. When you do so, um, there is no like hints for the password and confirm password. I did update that. That was a quick fix. However, what was a little bit more tedious was creating a button for the login and create account, and also fixing the bug for the general area for create account or login, depending on what page you're on. So if you were to put in the correct criteria, you needed to sign up and create an account. You could have easily done that and create an account by clicking anywhere on this side of the page. The create account uh, touchable was a little bit broken, so as long as you were going in this general facility, you could click anywhere and it will create an account. So that was an issue, and that was bigger issue, especially when you had it on a full screen. When you had it a full screen, you couldn't even see the create account. I just like to call it button. It wasn't there, and it'll just show like half the screen white. So that was an issue that I fixed as well. So going into the actual application, this is how it looks now. As you can see, even if you're in the full screen, you could see the login button. You can see your create account. I did change that. This is also the sign-in sheets. I changed it from signing up to signing in because thought that if you're gonna have a lot of users, say for whatever reason they logged out, they could easily sign back in rather than just coming to this page and then clicking another button and then vice versa to just log in. I think this would be a lot more efficient in the application. Like I said, for the password, I indicate a small hint that your password has to be at least 6 characters long, just as a friendly reminder saying if your password is like 123, it wouldn't work because for our criteria sakes, it needs to be at least 6 characters long. So if it was 1 through 6, that would be better, not secure, but better. And in order to change that, that was a quick fix in the navigator. Um, Instead of it being on the register, I changed it to login to have this set up. So the first thing I did was I created a styles called app button container and app button text, which right here is what this helps indicate. I tried not to go the same color as this just to let it stand out, saying like if you're on a different, if you're on the sign up, you can see the clearly that's a login and that's a create account. Vice versa, if you're the login, you can see clearly that's a create account, not thinking that it might sign you in. So I tried to do that a little bit, change colors, but also different kind of more bolder rather than the login being a little plain. Um, in order to do the login text and the create one, we were here in the create account button and log button. I've been messing around with this a little bit more and trying to figure out if I could get this to be pop out more. So going into the login page, and that's where we're at. The way I was able to create this little hint, I like to call it, was a placeholder right here in the code, line 74. Hold it, the placeholder for 6 characters long, or must be at least 6. My bad. Um, to create this button right here, we're going into this code we have in this view. I basically changed the style and of the create account and made a container. The container is what actually sets like this button round shape. I try to make it round and not sharp to match the aesthetics of these two edit text. So I tried to match that. I'm gonna try to do the match again with the login, but that's gonna be a little bit more um, messing around with the styles. But that's how I created both the create and login. It's the same type of format when you go into this part right here. So right here. So, but as for the login and create account, I completely ditched out the previous code, which was another touchable. Obviously, I created a new view and created a text on implementing how that in a button. I personally like that this button right here, it goes throughout the whole entire page or the screen of the application, because if we were to say quickly make it into like a smaller button, this is, and this is on the register page, so let's go to the register page. As you can see that the button is a lot smaller. Yes, it's more direct. However, compared to size to the login, yes, I can make the login smaller, but I feel like it's not in my opinion, aesthetically pleasing. I'll have to talk to my teammates about that, but that's how I view it. So I thought that it might look better if it took the entire screen instead of just that one segment right there. So just in case, as you can see, it's back to normal. I did that, but it more depends on what our client likes. I will ask her personally on that part. Um, so we showed the login, showed that, and then one last minor adjustment that I did to the code was if we quickly sign in. Let's see. Oops. So I realized with the code there was a lot of small bugs of like did I type that information right? Oops. Let's try it one more time. There we go. I noticed there were a lot of bugs with certain buttons, and like I was saying, like here you can see what I meant by the login screen. If you have a full screen, it may not always work. You need to minimize it in order to actually see it. Um, I don't know how great my screen recorder is, so I don't know if it's zoomed out, but hopefully it is. So as you can see right here, we did that with, let me just pull out the code so I can show you exactly what I did. It was a simple fix, however, little difficult to comprehend when I first did it, as it just for me. Um, both buttons were evenly in the middle. They were basically almost touching, so if you were to accidentally say you wanted to save changes, you may log out, or vice versa. If you were to click it right on the edges of it, I mean, in simple fix, you could just click the on the other side so you can avoid the problem. But that was one problem or one bug I saw in my code. I don't know if it happened in my other teammates' code, but that's one thing I'd point out. So I tried to spread them out just so that issue would not happen. And when I did so, sometimes the save changes logouts would appear on the end sides or above this. So I was trying to figure that out. Looked quickly online and said try space evenly, and that worked as of right now. However, I feel like it still has a lot of much space. Hopefully I can get them to be a little bit closer. If not, this would be okay and more ideal than what they were when they were basically touching. So that was another thing I contributed to code. But my main contributor overall was trying to get this more aesthetically pleasing, as in login, create a feature, getting rid of those bugs that you don't need to click all the way down here. And even if you're in the full screen, you can still see all the buttons and be able to access the applications, it and not necessarily have to be in a minimized um, phone screen in order for the application to truly work. That's at least signing in. Once we get to the next application, we're still having that issue. However, we're trying to fix that as we go along. But let's see, was that all that what I had to cover? Yes, it was, because I talked about that. Alright, thank you for watching.